Good morning from the woods. It's a bright, beautiful, sunny day today, but by heck, it's cold. Just seen on the car that it is a balmy 4 degrees here today, so nice and warm. I've forgotten gloves, so I'm hoping I'm going to find something in the bell tent, and yeah, because otherwise today is not going to be a pleasant day, but we'll see what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do today. I've got a couple of jobs lined up. Number one is I'd like to create some footpaths around the woodland, because at the moment, as you can see behind me, there is a lot of space here that is completely wasted because it is just covered in brambles and there's nothing we can do about it. And I'd like to put in some footpaths where we can just, well, if we come here every day, we can just go and wander around and enjoy the woods, because at the minute we can't really do that. We've got this main track that goes from the main public footpath down to our next door neighbours just here, and we've got our campsite just over there. But apart from that, we haven't really got any trails going around the woods. So I'd like to put in some sort of circular route so that we can just come, go for a wander and have a look around. But not only that, so this area here, I'd like to get completely cleared at some point and have a picnic table there, because I think just having a picnic out in the woods would be lovely to be blunt about it. But the main job that I'd like to get done at some point soon, and I think I might try and get a lot of it done today, is we have a lot of overstood hazel here, some with a main thick trunk that could do with coming down, but they've also got a lot of offshoots, and I'd like to use some of that material in a future video, building shelters, doing a bit of scouting, pioneering, lashing poles together, etc. But the last time I was here, my chainsaw decided to seize up, so I need to have a look at that first. So we'll get that out, see if we can free it up, and if we can free it up, we'll do some coppicing. If I can't get it freed up, we'll do some strimming and get some footpaths put in. So let's get the chainsaw out and see what we can do. Alright, let's see what the problem is then. I think from what I remember last time, yeah, so this chain is all very seized. Doesn't feel like it's well lubed either, so that could be a lot of the problem. So hopefully it's just going to be a case of chucking some oil in it and it'll be okay, because it seems tight enough, the tension seems fine, as it should be. Let's just top it up with some oil then. Oh, one of the oil bottles has leaked in my toolbox, brilliant. Right, so it's fuel, that's... Oh, crikey. Wow, yeah, the oil tank is bone dry. That's on me. But you can tell it's cold, this oil is so thick. Oops. Oh, fingers crossed. It was just as simple as that to get it fixed. Because I am not a mechanic. We got any fuel in there? Yeah, we got some fuel. Let's give it a try then. Bugger! No, that wasn't the cause. Then what we'll do is we'll open it up, loosen it off slightly and see if that helps. It doesn't help, this is all full of damp sawdust and crap. So I'm going to stop that from turning. Well, that seems to be loosened off already. We'll see how that goes. And if it's still too loose, once it's lubricated up a bit, we'll tighten it back up. Right, let's give that a go. Well, the good news is the chain's getting oily now. That is way too loose. Look at that. Way too loose. Just get it a bit more lubed up. I can't tighten it without the cover off. Still bogging down though. I'll tell you what we'll do. Take the whole chain off, take the bar off, give it a bit of a clean. Right, okay, so it's not the chain that's causing the problem then. It's the actual engine that's bogging down, annoyingly. So I need to go home and work out how to service that engine. But I think it might be alright today. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack on anyway. Right, well this is the one I'm going to start with first. Just because it is, well, aside from the fact it's huge, it's also got lots of poles that I can then work with to make stakes to put the barrier fencing up to protect it. Because the problem is, if I go for the other big stools like that one, the poles are just too big. That's just going to be firewood and possibly building material, but it certainly can't use a lot of that for the stakes. So we're going to start off with this one and then see how we get on. Right, so running out of fuel has stopped play for now, but we've made some decent progress on this one tree. I think I've got about 15, maybe 20 more hazels I need to do over the course of winter, so I'm not going to show you all of those on video because it'll just be repetitive in the same of what we've just done. So what I've got to do now is work out what we're using for what. So we've got a lot of decent straight poles, some thinner than I'd like, but they could have been done with left on the tree for a bit longer, but I just thought level the whole thing and start from scratch with this, because we had lots of tiny shoots and lots of 20-30 year old branches as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate them into piles now. We're going to separate them into the building material pile, the firewood pile, and the dead hedge pile, because the issue that we've got now, if I turn you around, is by felling this tree we've now exposed a lot of area onto that field, and the problem is I know we get fox hunters around here, you know, the sort on horsebacks, and they are known to come through the local woods, and frankly I don't want them on my patch. I'm not into I'm not into fox hunting, so but if they want to do that, that's their bag, but not on my land. So the exposed area, once I get rid of all that brash, is then going to show is going to be showing an entrance into the woods from the field. So I thought if we dead hedge it up a little bit, make it so that they don't want to come in here. I mean, why would you? When there's all that, you're not going to get a trail of horses through there. So that's where we're at now. So I'm going to go back, go and get some fuel, fill up the chainsaw, level off the hazel stool a little bit further down, make it as close to the ground as possible, and then we'll get some barrier fence up as well to protect it from the deers. I know they've got to eat, but at the end of the day I don't want them destroying my trees either, so there's plenty of other stuff in here that they can munch on. Just don't want it to be my hazel tree. I've just spent the last half an hour coppicing. Right, see you shortly. Right, that is the chainsawing job done now, so at least that's out of the way. We have our 3 piles. We have our firewood, we have a brash, and we have our straight poles for the building material. So I'm going to leave this here for now, just purely because there is no rush to get that sorted out. I'm not going to be burning that for at least a year, because it's hazel. That's going to be quite damp for ages. So that's the least priority at the moment. And now it's a case of deciding whether I want to build this dead hedge now, or get the barrier fencing sorted out around the hazel stools. I'm actually half tempted to leave that as it is at the moment, because it's all pointing outwards towards the field. There's no way in there at the moment anyway, so at the moment I'm kind of thinking that is the second priority. Now we are just going to crack on and build this barrier fence. So I need to trim up some of these poles, make sure that they're the right length, because they need, the barrier fence itself is a metre, so what's that, just over 3 foot. So if we make the poles 4 foot long, stick a spike on it, that should be more than enough. And I'm going to do, because there was actually 2 stools here, I think I'm just going to barrier around both of them together rather than doing them individually. So we will get cracking on with that now. Right, that's that tree done. Only another 2 dozen more to go in the woods, but at least that's the first one out of the way with. This one took the longest purely because it is the biggest coppice in the woodland, and I just wanted to get it done and dusted. So it's 2 o'clock. I'm going to go and get some lunch and probably sit by the fire for an hour or two and then head home. So until the next one, see you later.